Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with football selections for Saturday the 20th of September. I've hardly been able to sleep. Anyway, so I've been using or adjusting an SOP for the football results. You may have seen some recent videos. I know it sounds bonkers. I've done a prediction for the Ryder Cup and for the Super Bowl. Is it? No, the World Cup, sorry. Super Bowl is still to come. So it sounds bonkers, but I think anybody by now who just looks out the window and thinks, what's going off in the world, may have some views, maybe not. I wouldn't say my views are extreme. They're just extremely different to most people's. Something's going off. Is it by design? Or is it by chance? I don't know. But the videos that I watch, they're not mainstream. They're not dodgy or anything. They're on YouTube, but they are basically saying the Bible's playing out. I'm not religious in the slightest. I think the Bible is basically a script. Well, kind of literally a script, but a playbook where we are being um, moved into sections where do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? If you don't believe in this, or you don't agree with us, then you're against us. That kind of thing. So I believe we are currently in Revelation, and it's the second seal period. Uh, I'm not sure about this exactly how if I'm phrasing it right, but it's through the lens of Apollyon. So what it is, it's a time of removing peace from the earth. Well, to be fair, sounds about right to me. So I thought, right. So I've got several views on a lot of things. So I thought, right, if I think everything's a script, doesn't play exactly to the script because I think there's several other things at play. But I do believe there is no such thing as a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. The people you meet, the people you fall out with, or the people who cause trouble for you, or the people you may even cause trouble for them. I think it's by design. I think it's by um, you being here as a test. So I'm not going to go too deep because my SOP does that. So I inputted a huge amount of information. I used ChatGPT to ask questions, answer questions, put it in an SOP style. And could you interpret this into results? And it said yes. So it could be the funniest thing you've ever seen, or it could be an eye opener. So I basically pasted it in because I've used things like gematria, um, loads of numerology, and it's really interesting. So what it's come out with is I'm not going to show the SOP because it could be interesting. I'm not hiding anything from you, but we haven't got time. So what I asked for was I when I've used the word certainty or bankers, it's a load of rubbish. I want to chat GPT to literally tell me, um, give me clear answers. That's why I've used the words certainty and bankers, etc. So let me get into it. So I pasted the entire fixture list on the 20th of September from the Premier League to the bottom of League Two. I said include and analyse every single match there is. Then I asked for give me three teams. Originally, he gave me a bit of a list, about four or five, sometimes even six. I don't want six. I want three, sometimes four, but we're going to stick with three for this weekend. So before I read them out and show you the bets I've actually had, in fact, I don't even need to show you the bets. I can tell you from here. So I've run this script already. I'm not claiming any profit whatsoever, but the signs have been encouraging. So I'm going to try and remember back now. The day when Liverpool played in the Champions League. So I'm doing this from memory. I actually had a fiver treble. So this is nothing massively eye opening because I think they were favourites. So I had a fiver treble. So it said these are, let's use the word certs again, because it was above a certain percentage that it gave me as a cert. I think I do believe at the time it was 70 or above. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of figures where they're not over 70. So what it was, it gave me PSG. I don't think they were too bad a price. It gave me Inter away. I can, and it gave me Bayern Munich to beat Chelsea. It said all these were certs, and let's not get carried away with the word cert. So I had a fiver treble. Let's test the water. To be fair, never looked like losing. Um, was it a flash in the pan? Let's say it was a flash in the pan. Absolute fluke. Well, okay then. So the next day, I pasted in all the selections. Bear in mind, I'm still. This is for test reasons or test purposes. I'm still like. I know it sounds bonkers because I might be made to look stupid tomorrow. Even if they don't come in, I'm not shelving the SOP. I shall input the real results in and get it to adjust it and improve the SOP accordingly to try and remove. Because if this is scripted, we're heading in the right direction. If this place isn't scripted, I just look balmy. So I then did the next days, and I think there were about 6 matches. I think so. I thought I'll just follow them religiously. Well, literally religious. I think I had a couple of pound accumulators. So I think three came up, two or three let me down, and I thought it's a bit too reckless. This is so. I actually. Oh, sorry. Just reverting back to the previous day, I had a fiver treble, and it said the least likeliest or risky was Liverpool, so I left that out. Well, they won as well, so it would have been 4 out of 4, but I only had a treble. Anyway, because it said it left them out in the end because of the chaos likelihood, which it was in the end 3-2, trouble in the stand. So yeah, plenty of chaos. The next day, I had a bit of a bet, but then I put the bet on. But then I thought after the match or the next morning, I thought right, let's just see who it would have. It didn't know that. Well, I didn't give it the results by then. So I says, if you had to pick the teams that you would class as certs, tell me them. And it said Sporting Lisbon and Man City. Well, Sporting Lisbon were 1-12, so let's not get too carried away with the cert bit. You're not going to get rich overnight back in those. And then Man City was the other one. I think Man City was something like 4-7. That was never really in doubt with, well, they've got to score, obviously, but that was never too much in doubt with the red card for Napoli. But were they both clean sheets? I think they were, but I don't know if it definitely. I switched off after a bit. I just knew Sporting Lisbon with something like 4-0 up. So let's get on to Saturday's selections. So just trying to think what I did. That's it. So I've watched a recent video by one of the people that I follow on a YouTube channel. He confirmed that we are in the second seal. So what I wanted to do was I asked ChatGPT, I inputted the update about where we are in Revelation as in the second seal. So I says, right, compare version 1 of the SOP before I knew this, like the original SOP that did the Champions League fixtures, compare it to version 2. Now I've inputted and asked you to apply the second seal and what that entails, what entails. And basically the second seal where we are is more chaos. So I says, right, apply those to the SOP. So it has done, and it's also given me a bit of a commentary, but not too much has changed, but the chaos theory slightly has changed. So let me get into it now. So what I've had is, this is with Bet365. I've had a fiver treble. And these are on the banker winners. I'm not saying the banker, do so entirely at your own risk. I would not, pretty much not have picked most of these teams, to be honest. Firstly, because Liverpool are in the 12:30 kickoff. The bet could be down straight away. But the good thing is, I don't think there are really many of the other bets. So let me get into it. So it's a £5 treble. Bearing in mind, Bet365 will pay out if a team goes 2 goals clear. So the first selection is Liverpool. They are 70% likelihood. Bolton, 65% likelihood. And Norwich, 60% likelihood. It does say, as you can see clearly below, is Huddersfield was close, but Norwich has slightly higher stability in Seal SOP. This all sounds quite structured, quite organised. Then I've also had a £5 both teams to score. Chaos arcs, but both sides coded to score. So there's plenty of chaos coded in these matches. Burnley and Forest doesn't sound like a match that's surrounded in chaos. Yeah? So Brighton versus Spurs, both teams to score. Burnley versus Forest, both teams to score. And Cardiff versus Bradford, both teams to score. 5 a treble. So red card, high likelihood chaos engulfed. So clearly they're going for ultimate chaos in the Brighton and Spurs match. If this is 0-0, it's not been a good day, but we still move on. I'm not changing anything. I'll just input the results and ask to adjust the SOP accordingly, so it would have predicted all matches correctly and adjust the SOP accordingly for the chaos factor. Bearing in mind, this SOP has also predicted final league standings as well, which is quite interesting. I'll try and do that in a different video soon after, or I might just what I'll do is I'm going to paste in the comments below if it looks structured the 4 league tables, final league tables as ChatGPT has predicted them. Bearing in mind, it made an original prediction. I tell you what, it's hardly changed. But what I did, I gave it a 4-game update. Just to bear in mind, factor this in. Please adjust the SOP accordingly. There wasn't a great deal of change in its opinion, if I'm being honest. But anyway, let's get to the red card market. So I can't bet, because I'm restricted in my accounts, I can't bet on Sheffield United and Charlton. So I'll just leave it to a double. So what I've had is, I've had 2 £1 singles on a red card in the match. Brighton versus Spurs and Wolves versus Leeds. I've also had a £2.50 double. The reason why it's £2.50 double is because if there's one red card in one of the matches, we either it either pays for the bet, it's a free go, or if Brighton versus Spurs is the red card, we win 50p. We're kind of relying on the double, which makes something like £86. So that's £15 stake so far. No, it's not. It's 5, 10, £14.50. Then what I've had here is I haven't placed all the bet yet, but what I've had is, forget the over 3.5 goals potential. The reason why I said that is because I'm looking, if this is over 3.5 goals potential, then it's going to be even higher for over 2.5 goal potential. So what I've gone for is a £5 over 2.5 goal treble. Brighton versus Spurs, Fulham versus Brentford, Salford versus Swindon. Those are all the bets, I believe. Yeah, those are all the bets, I believe. They are all the bets on football this weekend. I find it really interesting. What I am going to do is I am going to apply the code to Middlesbrough versus West Brom tonight and see what happens. I'm not going to have a bet. I'm not going to show in advance. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. Yes, I'll also put that in the video below. Don't go about having any bets. I wouldn't say. It's all for test purposes only. So what I'll do is, in the description below, right, let's keep it clean. So in the first comment, I will put the findings of the Middlesbrough match once I've applied the SOP to it. But in the description, I will put all the final end of season league tables so you can have a look through, see what you think. This is bonkers. It's for entertainment purposes only, but I'm staking some cash. So even if this does well, you need to keep the stakes to fun amounts. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.